And the idea of this year of Jubilee, every time it rolled around, was this idea to try to prevent damaging cycles of poverty and injustice and things that would keep people locked in and keep people from being able to succeed to get a leg up. I played this board game with my brother-in-law and my wife last night, and the further ahead you got in the game, the further the person in last place got to start from. So like instead of starting from square one, you got to start from like square five if you were like down 50. And that is kind of what's happening here. Like the idea is like we're going to level the playing field so that no one is stuck so far behind that they're not able to claw their way back up, not just into like relationship and society with one another, but I think many of us have felt like this. Like if you don't feel lovable yourself, if you don't feel like you have it all together yourself, if you don't feel like you have things in order, it's really hard for us to find relational connectivity with people, relational connectivity with God, to deepen our spiritual being. And the idea at the core of this year of Jubilee was to reset things so that people could not only be in better connection with God, but better connection with their neighbor. And this goes to this idea of even Jesus when he's talking about the greatest commandment that we read about in the Gospels, to love your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. This idea of resetting gives people the greatest potential to, without distractions, without debts, without things that are holding them back, to love God and love neighbor. And what's wonderful about this is Jesus, like, this isn't like on a yearly cycle. Like this has been fulfilled here and now with me. So we are like living perpetually in this time of Jubilee, this time of freedom for all of us.